When I was in wilderness survival school, they had multiple levels of classes. And the idea is they built one built on the next level. So the very first class was just getting yourself established. It's things like building a debris hut, simple ways to acquire food, maybe get water, get a fire started. Very, very basic stuff you may need to last to get rescued, or if you're starting at a place, you don't build a log cabin. You build your set first. The next class was building a better structure. So now that you're there and you've got food and water and fire, to plan to stay there longer, you build a better structure. You also get better tools. So we built fishing baskets, we built rope, things like that. We learned how to use rocks for knives, but it was now that you've been established, let's make things better quality of everything and better quality of life. The next class after that was better tooling. So it's things like pottery, knapping, stuff like that you would need if you stay somewhere for a long time. You also build a bow in there. And we learned how to jerky up larger animals, and we built the tripod already. So we were ready with the new tools to get bigger game. So it's very much stacked on top of itself in a need by need layer to get you what you need at each stage to build to the next one to have a long lasting campsite or homestead or wherever you're at then. So I like that because we have needs in the same kind of way in our regular life beyond how it pertains to wilderness survival. And there's something managers study, but it's from psychology, and it's called Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. And I think it's important to understand these because we understand maybe if we have stress, we can figure out where that stress is coming from and how to manage it. Like, how does it apply to this? If we think we should be doing something that we just can't get motivated for, we may have needs between here and there. Also, if you reach a certain area of this and it gets taken away, that could be stressful. But it's very helpful. So the very bottom rung of that is a lot like the wilderness survival school. And it's, breathing, food, water, shelter. These are things we need. Nothing else matters if we don't have those. So that's the bottom of the pyramid. And the next one up is safety. Not just your bodily safety, but being able to acquire these resources. A lot of times that's our job. Because now we can buy food and pay for our shelter. So that's it. Near the bottom, you imagine a triangle going with there's a picture. So nothing else really matters if we don't have that. And after we have that, we start looking at our relationships for, love and belonging, because we are a social creature. And that may be, family relationships or it could be intimacy, and then after we are building relationships and becoming social, our own self-esteem comes into play. And that is really where confidence starts to matter, in achievement and respect, because those things don't really exist without the relationships. And if you have all of these, then you reach a point of self-actualization. And that's, advocating for yourself, making your goals, reaching your goals, being involved in your own destiny from a driver's perspective, because all of your needs are met. And this applies everywhere. And it turns out you can apply it to work. Work directly applies because it's that survival, that very bottom piece. So if you're worried about losing your job, or you work at a contracting firm and financials are iffy and you don't manage that stress particularly well, that's the very bottom of this pyramid. So if you do things that make people question their longevity, they're not going to get any higher. They're not going to get to the social and self-esteem. The social is, and part of that safety is giving people feedback. And this works in friend circles. It works in a lot of different groups. So positive feedback really helps the security portion. At work, people would be investing in you and training and career planning, things like that. And then you go more into the social part. So you're meeting as groups, you're working on a team, you're having friends at work, those things start to matter. And once those things matter, then you want your social status, because now there's a social network. Once you have that and you have a safe environment, then you get people to self-actualize. And that's setting your own objectives. That's making your own challenges. It's taking risks for goals. And that's where motivation and passion really live. So understanding this can give us a leg up in understanding ourselves, as well as what we may need to provide or experience in other circles, including work. So getting an understanding helps us get self-awareness and self-management, even if we don't use it for other people. So you can read a lot about this online, and there's great books on motivation as well. Books like Drive is a good one I just recently read. But understanding motivation and really seeing what you need is very helpful in making educated decisions.